So I got a story, and it was traumatic in nature and a bit weird, and it was demonic. Here's why. So I went to a party once before. I think it was like last year, and this pretty chocolate woman. She had a birthday party. I think it was like 70s or 80s inspired. I came in them dressed like Prince. Had my shirt tied up, had the high waist pants on, and I came in there and I was feeling myself probably the first time. Well, not first time, just in a way where I'm being like overly flamboyant. And look, it's overly flamboyant. Not being overly flamboyant. Anyway, I just came in there dressed in press. I only really focused on myself, but I wasn't focused on everyone else. I had a homeboy to come with me, and then I had another friend to then also come with me as well. So we all at the party, enjoying ourselves. Fast forward, I noticed one cat in the group, or in the party. And this is when the encounter comes. When I approached him, I said, why is it like you're not worried about nobody? It seems like you're not worried about nobody in this mug. And then quickly, I just remember feeling an energy that in a way almost like grabs my heart energy, and it began to suck it. And at this moment in time also, I'm looking in his eyes, and his eyes drew me in. I'm like, alright, this nigga is handsome, yet at the same time, he's saying, oh, you want me? I was like, nah. As soon as I began speaking, I said, no. I was like, no. That is when my peace and my heart and my body began to feel warm again. And I'm like, this is weird. And fast forward, he calls me gay. And I don't respond to it. Simply based off of the premise. People, when we was kids, based off of the premise, if you have to respond to something very objectively, like, then it perhaps it's true or whatever. But I was like, nah, I'm not about to react to that. Be chill with my profile. But all in a while, I sat back down or left that experience. And I remember going back to my friends, they was like, shoot, what you want to do? It's like, we down with you or whatever. I myself was like, nah, it's not doing anything. But then the second time, that boundaries were like overstepped was when he touched the top of my hair. And this is the part where I'm like, I could go into a mode that I could see that ends in nothing but destruction. Ends in nothing but destruction. Or I can tune this out and then allow for myself to enjoy the rest of the party and then leave. I chose not to then lead to destruction. And then another thing, I'm thinking about police and jail and imprisonment and all that. And realizing that I don't want to be in that scenario. Because, yes, I'm calm, but I do remember what I did in Duncanville High School. For those who know, it's a very pretty good physical defense and offensive lineman. I would say, and also I did art, and also I was in choir. Basically all around doing everything that was of using God's gifts and talents that are bestowed upon me. And I left and I felt violated and yuck. And at the same time, angry and wanting to use both of those emotions, but it wasn't really centered. And a good friend of mine said that either you can allow this to happen to you again, or you can actually do something about it. So this is my do something about it, right? It's passed away, but I know that things like this still happen. And forgot to tell you, let me just continue that. This still happens. And I've already been to jail falsely before. And how God has God's hand on me. And also, let me just say that I do not want to be put in a position where I compromise my spot of freedom. I don't. Again, I don't. But I do know that destruction is a very good medicine at times when those that do not want to get the message. And I'll say that in scripture it says there's a time to heal, there's a time to eat, there's a time to sleep, there's a time to do work. Probably saying it all out of order. There's a time to do all things, and also there's a time to kill. When I told her that, the young lady, when I told her that that experience made me want want to get a gas station utensil. And just like the snake that was in the country that was wreaking havoc, you get a hole, get the edge of the hole, and then you just cut its neck off. When you're defending for yourself, stuff like that. It's I don't care what no one says. It's like you have a level of peace, but also you have a protection that's necessary too. And the reason why I say that is because that was the first time I was able to empathize with a lot of my family and generations of, or even friends, in regards to being messed with as a spiritual child of God. Oh, that was the first time. And I knew it was the first time because I felt it was like this Negro really said some things where my heart was open. And you see how I draw. I just remember in retaliation, I began to use my words, and then some instrumental came on, and they started playing Tupac, or not Tupac. It was something like an instrumental that was meant to be rapped on, or for me, it was rapping on. So I began to rap, and I said everything real. It was almost like the hit 'em up energy, and I kept on going to the point where I said, and I pointed to him. I said, even just like how when folks try to mess with young children. And as I say that, I think about the pedophilia that happens within many communities. Also, I think about the principality behind it too, and how it's just straight wrong. Because perversion is nothing to be played with. Not to be played with. But I told the young lady that with the dagger of a tool, it made me want to put them right here. And she got scared, and she says, I don't think it's best for me to allow you to my parties again. I said, cool with me. Cool with me. And that's how that relationship of going to a party ended. That is okay. All to say, as I look back, I noticed the offness that was happening in front of me because the cat was, mind you, it was some fine women that was in the party. And some brothers that look well kept. And I'm glad I can say that now, being in a healed place. Because I look at myself and I'm like, man, I'm an exceptional young man myself. I look pretty daggone good. But one thing was off about this cat. It looked like he was like trying to dry hump everything that was around him. And that was odd to look at and see. Self-control out the window. I was like, even at a kickback, when acid is being thrown in front of your face, you get it, but if you don't really fly with it, I'm talking about women, I'm like, all to say, that's what took place. When during the time when he was at the party, he was around a lot of the women and just trying to dance on them. I was like, he just went to one, then went to another, went to another, went to another. I was like, bro, this looks weird. I'll just say, I ain't invited to her party no more. And if you watching it, I appreciate you. Not condescendingly. Just I appreciate you. But some things I don't think you will ever see. Perhaps now that it's spoken about publicly, may be different. But all to say, yeah, that was my experience. And the demonic part was, it was the energy that drew me. That was a part where when it drew me, it had a cold feeling, and it had a very, like a strong ick to it. And that right there, nah. That was the very thing that made me was like, nah, I don't know what you in or doing. But if you were engaging within the community with that, nope. So no, that is a story. And the demonic spirit of homosexuality to make any of the little ones fall. It's no good. No good. I got nothing else to say. Peace be with you.